changes now over the next few weeks. All of the claims that it's nonsense or we shouldn't listen to the experts or that you can somehow believe your way better, they just fall apart, as they were always destined to do. And I will beat myself up, I suspect, for the rest of my working life, that those of us who sought to get this reality front and centre while there was still time to avoid it failed so miserably. I mean, obviously the people lined up against us were immense, but I still think it was possible to have got that over the line. At least measure twice, cut once, you know, as a motto for a nation. If it's good enough for your average carpenter, then it should be good enough for a country. But we failed, and now there is no triumphalism at all involved in having to report, for example, that the billionaire Brexit backer who owns Ineos, due to open a factory in Bridgend in Wales, announced yesterday actually he'll open it in France after all, because the business case was irresistible. I wonder what that can mean. Honda announcing that production has stopped because parts can't get into the country via ports, even including Felixstowe. I mean, that's incredible, right? Felixstowe pays £100,000 a year to Chris Grayling for advice. Who would have thought they could possibly have any problems whatsoever with that sort of calibre of advisor in position? I frankly, really struggling to believe that, actually. I think it might be #fake news. If you're paying Chris Grayling 100 grand a year for a few hours work advising you on running a port, then you can be fairly confident that port is going to be the best run in the universe. I mean, never mind the world. There'll be planets on the other side of our solar system looking at Felixstowe Port thinking, if only we could afford Chris Grayling for a few days a week, and then we would be well, we'd be the smoothest running freight operation on Alpha Centauri. 13 after 10 is the time. So I mention that because I can't. It's important that honest people continue to tell the truth, and I will. Quite how people who persuaded you to vote for this catastrophe are going to handle, if they work in this business, how they're going to handle their relationship with you in the coming months, I don't know. Do they just pretend, you know, when they write their newspaper columns, that they never told you Brexit was going to be brilliant? Probably. A full reverse without acknowledging the reverse, certainly without putting on the reverse alarms that the lorries that are soon to be parked all over Kent have to employ. So we will talk about it, but I have to find a way of doing it that is both honest and important. And some people are going to accuse us, as we get proved righter and righter and righter, some people will accuse us of being happy about it. That's fine, I can live with that. We've got broad shoulders, and we, after 4 years of this abuse and character assassination. But nobody wants the bad stuff to happen. Nobody sensible wants the bad stuff to happen. Nobody, I'd say decent, but I know a lot of people are very hurt and very bruised by what's been done to them by these disgusting politicians. And I'm afraid media professionals as well. I think that they have to bear a lot of responsibility, if not more than the politicians. It's hard to know who's the dog and who's the tail and what wags what. But nobody sensible wants bad stuff to happen. Nobody honest can fail to report it to you. So we will get stuck into that in the programme. But not to start with. To start with, I'd like to find out whether you share my opinion that as of this week, Matt Hancock has had a good pandemic. Now, I'm not married to this view. In fact, David Yelland, the former editor of The Sun, tweeted yesterday his admiration for Matt Hancock, and I quote tweeted agreement with him, and then I deleted it because I sort of thought, I don't know, I'm going to let the dust settle. I'm going to give it at least 24 hours because we were so desperate for good news that I worried that perhaps we'd swallowed it or we'd allowed ourselves to become a little bit intoxicated by the first truly good bit of news that we've had so far. And then I remembered that my initial admiration of Matt Hancock was ruined really by his failure to condemn Dominic Cummings. And this is where perhaps I start skating onto rather thin ice, because I now put it to you that if he had condemned Dominic Cummings, he'd have been fired. And he, look, I mean this, but I'm not married to it. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say that in the course of this hour, and I will obviously have to be reminded that I also felt for Boris Johnson back in 2008, but he was promising an amnesty for illegal immigrants at the time. So, you know, I don't know actually, are people going to tell me that they want to join, or are people? But I hope it's equal. I hope we can have a little bit of 50-50, and I shall reach my decision at the end of this hour. So Matt Hancock tearful yesterday as the vaccine was announced. He stayed in post. He's continued to do his best. You could, of course, suggest to me that his best wasn't good enough. And it seems to me that the decisions taken that have led the United Kingdom into such a horror show, the highest death toll, I think, in Europe, the second highest per capita, there or thereabouts. I always need to double check these things, they change. And of course, he has nothing whatsoever to do with the fact that we're projected to have one of the worst economic performances in the aftermath of COVID. So his hands were tied on the really big stuff. In the context of what he could do, I put it to you that Matt Hancock has done all right. In fact, possibly even better than all right, because, and I think this is probably the most important point of all, have you ever had an awful boss? And did you resign as a result of having an awful boss? Or did you knuckle down, get on with it and do your best until your awful boss was replaced by a better boss? 0345 6060 973. First response to this cautious suggestion is, come off it, James. Okay, I wonder whether that's going to set the tone for what follows.
At Morrison's this Christmas, our British beef roasting joint from our butchers is $4.99 a kilo, and our fresh whole salmon from our fishmongers is also $4.99 a kilo. Morrison's, making Christmas special. Majority of stores subject to availability. Online varies. Beef is vacuum packed.
Hey Harry. Hello mate. Set smart TV to record the football later.
You gotta be joking that you ain't got a blooming clue. But I'll tell you what, if you want to chuck a few quid on it, your best bet is to try that Bet Victor app. Even I'm a whiz on that. Listen, I've got a little tip for you, and you did need this from me. Oh, that'll be Sandra with the shopping. Sorry mate, got a dash.
Listen to Harry and make your best bet with Bet Victor. 18 plus, please gamble responsibly.
Son, seen the remote?
You can sell your car fast on Motorway. But why do thousands of people rate Motorway as excellent on Trustpilot?
A fantastic way to sell from home.
Is it because Motorway finds your best offer from a nationwide network of trusted dealers? Faultless service, sale agreed with a great price. Or maybe it's because you could sell for more money than part exchange.
I got £1,000 more than trading.
Find out for yourself. Sell your car today at motorway.co.uk.
Motorway.co.uk.
Hi! Just dropping off a few presents for the kids.
A few? It's doorbell season, so get ready for all the festive deliveries coming your way with a Ring Video Doorbell.
Delivery. Got a big one today.
Oh, great. Can you leave it round the back, please?
Ring lets you see, hear and speak to whoever's at your door from anywhere, right from your phone.
Hey, just bought you a few things. Merry Christmas.
Be there for every moment with a Ring Video Doorbell. Available at ring.com and selected retailers.
Right now at your local co-op, you can pick up a bottle of Bailey's Irish Cream Liqueur, now just £10. Perfect for that post-Christmas dinner drink. After you've woken up from that post-Christmas dinner nap. Co-op is what we do. Now £10, down from £16.25, subject to availability. See participating stores for details. Offer ends 1st of January 2021. Please drink responsibly.
Hey Ria, what's it like being the boss?
So many decisions to make, Kev.
Like whether to switch to EE's business full works plan for iPhone?
That was an easy one. I mean, the unlimited data's a must-have. And I get to watch Apple TV Plus when it's time to unwind.
I bet you love bopping along to Apple Music too.
I've got some moves.
Oh yeah? What you mean?
Not on work time, Kev.
Get EE's business full works plan for iPhone or get Plan Envy.
T's and C's apply. Check coverage at ee.co.uk/coverage. Experience may vary by location.
2020. It's certainly not been an easy year, but as it draws to a close, let's try to make this Christmas the best it can be. You can start by shutting cyber criminals out. Before you head online to do your gift shopping, visit cyberaware.gov.uk for some practical steps to help protect you from cybercrime. From creating stronger passwords to updating your devices. And enjoy a Merry Christmas. Get secure online at cyberaware.gov.uk.
What am I looking forward to most? Hugs.
Actually, I'm okay with a no hugging.
At Trusted PPE, we're looking forward to getting back to normal as much as you are. So let's all pull together to help stop the spread once and for all. In the meantime, stay safe with trustedppe.co.uk. Rated excellent on Trustpilot.
James O'Brien on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
21 minutes after 10, and the early indications are that many of you think I've completely taken leave of my senses, but, you know, I'm nothing if not thick-skinned. 60,000 deaths, says Peter in Croydon, many in care homes, worst in Europe. What are you on this morning, James? Just the usual green tea, Peter. Let's all have a bit of it, so we can all miraculously forget the last 10 months, eh? Yeah, I mean, listen, I explained to you that I resisted the urge yesterday to come out in praise of Matt Hancock, but I will explain a little further on where I'm coming from on this, because let me put it this way, okay? I have, in the course of my 2.5 decades working at the media coalface, I have encountered some blinking awful bosses. I've worked for some absolute idiots. I've worked for some really nasty people, and I think I earn my money more when I work for them than I do, for example, now when I work for lovely people. But we shall return to that in a second or two, because Sir Kent Woods is a former chief executive